Kim because she's the chair of the Mercer Island Ready for 100 group. That's ready for 100% renewable energy here on Mercer Island. The group's been working really hard at that agenda and making a lot of progress. And so Kim is very, very passionate on this cause. Just asked her to come and tell us something about how she got to that place and what she'd like to say to us. Would you like a microphone like that or a lecture? Okay, yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It should be.
Can you hear me? Yes. Driving here this morning, taking in the fall color, I was filled with wonder and awed by the responsibility that we've been given as stewards of this beautiful, fragile planet, our only home. There is so very much at stake. As you all know, a new report was issued this past week by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. It was terrifying. It spelled out the absolute imperative of limiting warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade by the turn of the century. Meeting that target is technically doable, but not without overcoming immense political barriers, which haven't yet begun to budge. To those in power who tell us to mistrust the science, I say it is so foolish to bet against physics and chemistry, and so deeply irresponsible to do so with the resources of your grandchildren and mine. And to those who believe in the science but don't yet fully comprehend what is demanded of each of us, I say we've all got to start thinking about our consumption, our diets, everything we do. Can we wash our clothes in cold water? Can we dry them in the sun? Can we buy fewer of them? Can we turn down our thermostats by a degree or two? Can we eat less meat and dairy? And fly less often? And make more consistent use of public transportation? The most impactful thing that any one of us can do is to play our part in speeding the transition to renewable energy, which is now 100% possible because technological advances in wind and solar and electric transportation have wildly exceeded expectations. As I've delved into it, I've learned many things about solar. A, contrary to folklore, it works just great here in the Pacific Northwest. We have more than enough sun. And B, it's now affordable. The cost of solar panels has dropped 80% in the last decade, so the upfront costs are now manageable. I've even come to the conclusion that if you have a hospitable roof, and this one is fantastic, there's just no excuse not to go solar. Because you'll come out tens of thousands of dollars ahead on energy savings over the 30-year lifetime of those panels, and they really do last 30 years. So I'm working as a citizen volunteer with the Solarize Mercer Island campaign. I'm gaining a reputation on the island as a solar holy roller. Just ask my husband. Preaching the gospel of solar wherever I go. I'm so proud of Roberta and her team for having the vision to understand that faith communities have a moral obligation to lead the way. I envision this church with beautiful solar panels that people will see as they drive up and down Island Crest Way. It will plant a seed in their minds. Solar is contagious. Once your congregation blazes a trail, I'm certain that other faith communities will follow suit. looking at satellite images of the Presbyterian Church, the Mormon Church, the JCC, St. Monica's, and they make my mouth water. All of them will ultimately see the light, unintended, but your grandchildren will know that you, the Mercer Island Congregational Church, led the way, showing them that it's not just the right thing to do, but it's the smart thing to do as well. So please join me and Christy and Briggs after the service. We'll lead a discussion. We'll explain some of the technicalities of going solar. We'll have a question and answer session about how you as a congregation can make this all come together in a financially responsible way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Today's scripture comes from the New Testament. I'm short. Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 through 17. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace. And be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom, and as you sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with gratitude in your hearts to God. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him.
At its heart, creation spirituality is the celebration of a living God. We revel in knowing God deeply, actively involved, not just on those margins I talked about before, but in everything, every atom of the universe. And then we hear the invitation to respond, to join in the dance. So we've had our homework. Fall in love at least 3 times a day. Fall in love every hour of the day and greet the God whose love got there first. Notice how you change the world just by being here. And acknowledge the God who would love to use your heart and hands and feet to make new things happen. Creation spirituality isn't about dogma. It's about relationship. It's about a holy, restless God, there to be discovered everywhere our ears and eyes and minds and hearts take us. Isness itself, unshakable intention itself. And our awakening to our own being, our own love and energy and power, the creation that can flow from God through us, the great creative dance of the universe of which we are a part. As I said before, over these last 2 weeks, we've focused on our individual creativity and agency in the world as beings made in the image of our ever-creating God. Today I invite you to look around and see that we are more than just individuals. Week after week, we come here and we do this. What's it about? What's our experience of it? What's the potential of it? Church is a fascinating thing. We've got a lovely building in a prominent place on the island. We have an employer identification number and a unified business identifier number. In other words, we're legal. The government knows we're here. We have a website. Actually, we're going to have a new website. It's on its way. We have a roll of members. But if the 99 people on that roll all decided to walk away one day and not come back, as any one of us is entitled to do at any time, there would be no church. It would cease to exist with the last person who put out the lights. Because the church is us, yes? Nobody, nothing else. And as Congregationalists, we have complete say over what it will be in the world. There is no higher authority telling us what we have to do, other than the Spirit itself. So, creating the church is more than just a classy sermon title. It is literally what we get to do. Creating the church, in one sense, is just hard work. The nominations committee met last Sunday after church, and they had that whole long list of all the jobs they're going to need to find people to do. Sort of girded their loins for the big project ahead. Because it does take a lot of people hours to keep the place going. So chances are one of the people from that committee will be on the phone to you sometime in November, maybe December. In the meantime, the heating system doesn't seem to be working in the offices, in the library, in the rooms upstairs. If anybody knows anything about how to make heating systems work, that would be great. The list for greeters and ushers and flower arrangers and refreshment bringers has a lot of blank spaces. So if you feel inspired, by all means, sign your name on one of those lists today. We haven't had a daytime study group since before the summer. Would you like to lead one? That would be a really good thing. And if there are going to be daffodils in our garden next spring, it's us on our hands and knees. That's the only way it's going to happen. I belong to a minority group amongst clergy in that I know what it's like not to be the person standing up here trying to whip all of you into action. The person up here, it's always that the church is the most important thing in the world, more important than anything else you have to do. I've also been one of the people sitting out there on the receiving end of that kind of encouragement. I've been one of the people getting the phone calls about the jobs that need doing. Because for 17 years, my ministry was commuting to an office Monday through Friday, then doing some kind of hit-and-run things, interacting with churches around the countryside. So when Sunday mornings came, if I wasn't on the road, I trotted down to my local church, take my usual seat, second row from the back, and force 4 chairs in. I sympathized with the pastor who was doing everything in his power to get us involved. But I didn't want to stay for lunch. I didn't want to come to Saturday night socials. I didn't want to sing in the choir. Oftentimes Sunday was my only day off. I had a husband at home who I hardly ever saw between his busy life and mine. And I just wanted to come to worship and then go home. So I've been there. And I like to think that makes me particularly well qualified to ask some questions about who we are and what all of this is about. So here we go. What if a group of people came together voluntarily and offered themselves as a group to what God wanted to do in the world? What if they didn't have to dredge up all the energy themselves, but the energy was there waiting for them, a joyful, unquenchable, irresistible spirit, eager to love and heal and reach out into the world through them? What if they had a story to gather around, passed down for 2,000 years, with millions of people to attest to its transforming power, and taking pride of place there in the center of that story, and forming and reforming them over the years with insight and grandeur and hope and wisdom? And what if that story made them reach for ridiculous heights of aspiration, high ideals and powerful values and all-consuming expectations, such that they knew it was impossible. They knew it was crazy to try, and they would never have attempted it on their own. And they knew they were all going to screw it up regularly, but they let the bar stay high. No apology for the challenge of it. Just encouragement, mutual support, forgiveness, and the urging, come on, let's do this, let's try some more. And what if the striving really did change them? What if they could call on an inheritance of much of the most beautiful art and music and poetry ever created, inspired by that same unquenchable spirit and that same endlessly rich, hopeful story. Then what if some dynamic cycle of grace kicked in, whereby anytime someone gave of their time or their skill, even to something very tedious, the blessing multiplied, coming back to them, so that the giving and receiving, the asking, the sharing, all were joyful. What if there could be a company of friends, each person fascinating in his or her own right, so that spending time together was better than watching TV? What if their time together wasn't just work and worry, but celebration of the sheer goodness and generosity of God? What if the friendship among them could be so real and trustworthy that if any of them were in trouble in the middle of the night, he or she could call anybody else they met there and know that help would come? What if they were resolved to be strong for each other when any one person's strength fell short? What if they prayed for each other and those on the receiving end could feel it in hope and courage and healing? What if they pooled their resources, not just for fancy buildings and nice hymnals, but for justice and hope in the wider world? What if they made sure their doors were always open wide and they welcomed other seekers to join them for deep commitment over years and years, or just for checking things out for a week or two, no matter who they were or where they were on life's journey? In other words, what if there really could be church? It's up to us. Nobody is stopping us. I have total confidence that God is there with that endless supply of grace and power and vision and forgiveness. All the things that really make church come from God, and they are all immediately and reliably available to us. We don't have to manufacture them. We only need to join hands and want it. So your homework this week is to fill out your covenant forms. Our future will be the result of the choices that we make. Our future will be the result of some of what we put on those pieces of paper. What are we willing to offer of ourselves to make a dream like this come true? How deeply will we be invested to be a people through whom God's dreams can come true? Will we translate the magnitude of our love into dollars that flow to make fantastic things happen? What it boils down to, I think, is whether we keep this church thing at a safe and comfortable and reasonable distance, or whether we let it get under our skin, let it creep in to live with our deepest passions, and then make it happen. I will if you will. Amen.
Amen.
Let us give joyfully for everything that God is wanting to do with us as a church. Your offerings will now be received.